guys, it's Kristen with Simply a Student, and I am back today. I am going to be sharing with you guys what is in our morning basket. So I know there's an open collab running. I'm not sure if I'll get my video up in time because they're closing it at a certain point, but Abby over at Rooted in Rest, and then I believe it's Jen over at the Waldock Way. They are running an open collab for homeschool moms, and this month's topic is what's in your morning basket. And so I thought I would join in and share with you guys. If I can get my video up in time, I will go ahead and link the entire playlist down below for you guys. If not, I encourage you to still go on YouTube and just check out morning baskets, search it. There are tons of moms putting up videos right now, and they have some excellent information in there. So for us, a morning basket really just has some of those things that I'd really like to add in, but they're not individual subjects for each of my students. I have children that are in grades kindergarten, second, fourth, and sixth. Of course, I say that kind of loosely, as we know in homeschool. We don't always say exact grades, but that's roughly their ages. So I have a kind of a wide spread, but all within the elementary to just middle school age. And so we're still just picking a topic and something that we're interested in, something that corresponds to what's going on in our time at our certain period of time, and we're just diving into that. So right now, for this first 6-week period, we chose to talk about presidents and the election. So I'm going to share with you guys that information. But before I get started on what we're using for that, there is a small stack of things that will rotate with us through every topic for the entire year. So the first item I wanted to share was the Scholastic Dictionary of Idioms. My kids, I don't know, I mean, I guess it's just because they're kids, they don't always understand the idioms and the phrases that we sometimes use. And so this is just really a neat little thing for them to look up. And we just read through a couple. I'll show you kind of what the inside looks like. And so we'll just say, you know, choose someone out, and I will ask them what they think that means. And of course, you'll get all types of answers, and sometimes my older kids will know, and sometimes they won't. But the younger kids a lot of times don't know what these means, and so we kind of just discuss what they think it might mean, and then we read the sentence here and see if, based on what the sentence is, if they understand what it means. And if nobody still kind of gets it, I can read the meaning, and then we always read the little origin down here. And so there's about 6 or 7 on a spread usually, and we just slowly kind of work our way through and pick some of these out to read. And it's kind of just a really neat book. It's been something we've been using in our morning basket for the past year or two, and they really like it. Okay, so the next thing is something that I have wanted for a really long time, and it is the Tuttle Twins. This is their first book, The Law. I can't even explain to you guys how long that I have wanted these books, but a great friend and subscriber out there, hi Sarah if you're watching, was such a blessing to us, and she gifted my family the set of Tuttle Twin books this year, and so we are working our way through them. My kids absolutely love them, and I think they are a really great foundation in the way our government should be working. So, and especially bringing that to light for young children, I think this is a great way to kind of get them started. So we added these into our basket. We also are using A Light in the Attic. We love Shel Silverstein. I can remember loving the poetry in these books when I was younger, and so we have a few of them, and we just kind of rotate through them. We read, we just keep a bookmark in it and kind of read through the poems here and there. We don't work this into a specific loop day. It's just whatever works. If anybody's feeling interested, my kids always love to read this poetry. They aren't a big fan of a lot of poetry, so I always find it really exciting when they like this, and it's kind of nostalgic for me. So we pulled that out, and then we are using Laying Down the Rails, and in correlation with that, we use our Adventure Bible, and it's just a New King James Version. So my kids each do their own devotion, and they all have their own Bibles to read, but this is the Bible that we keep specifically in our morning basket for if there's any verses that come up while we're discussing or any topics that we need to look up. We use this Bible, and we use it with Laying Down the Rails, which is basically like a character study. And so as we're going through it, it has us pull up verses and read them. And so we just like to be able to pull this out and have it readily available in a kid's text that it can be read to all of the kids in my home. So this is fantastic. I really love this program. I won't get too into depth with it, but if you guys, if this is something that interests you, it is something out of the Charlotte Mason type of schooling. Abby over at Rooted and Rest was where I first saw it, and she does a great job at discussing this, so I highly suggest checking that out. And I'm noticing my battery's dying. That's no good because I have so much to share with you guys. So I'm going to move on. Those items will continue to stay in our morning basket all year long. But the next set of items I'm showing you will be here until about the election. And after that takes place, then we will go ahead and move to our next topic, which will be the Little House on the Prairie for the months of November and December. So there's just so many wonderful things I found. So the first thing I found was this We Sing America. If you guys watched my Rainbow Resources haul, you guys likely saw this. I got it off of there. It is, this price says it was $10.99. I'm not sure if I quite paid that much, but it's around that price, $10 or under. But it has just some fabulous things. We already do the Pledge of Allegiance every day, but it is on here if you would rather have it play in the background for you. But it also has the Star Spangled Banner, which is something that we have been listening to pretty much every morning in our homeschool time. And then it has lots of other things. For instance, Grand Old Flag. It has the Thomas Jefferson quote. It has America the Beautiful. It has the Presidents of the United States. It has the preamble to the Constitution. It just has a plethora of very patriotic quotes, songs, and other things. And so I thought it very valuable for us, especially this year during this time, and doing the presidents in the election to have. And so I was excited to add that into our basket this year. We also picked up, again, I shared these in a recent haul, the United States presidents. And I will just pull one out here to show you guys. Well, we've just been going through these. We've made it through the first 4 or so presidents, and we're going through. It has the president's name down here, George Washington, what number president they were, and if you turn it on the back, it shows a bunch of facts. And so we'll just kind of read through these facts. As we've moved on, I will pull out the card and I'll just say who was the first president. I'll kind of cover the name down here. They can answer, and then I'll say, can anybody tell me anything about them? And so just anything from their party to when they died to where they were born. It has some fast little facts down here, like, for instance, George Washington was the first and only president to ever be unanimously elected by the Electoral College. I don't know if that was an ambulance or police. I didn't get my head turned fast enough, but sorry, emergency vehicles going past. And it sounds like it might have set off the neighbor's dogs, so hopefully they will quiet down quickly for us. But we did pick those up. I really like these. I have picked up flashcards in the past from like the Dollar Tree spot or the Dollar spot at Target that were presidents, and I was not nearly as impressed with them. I'm really happy to have bought these ones. I really do like them, and I like the fact that they have all 50, or they have 50 cards in them, so they have all of the presidents in them. So they do have some additional different cards in them that just have like some games on them. But because they do have 50 cards in here, there's actually all the presidents. In the last set, there were only 36, so all the presidents were not even contained, and I wish I would have realized that ahead of time. So then, another thing on our list this year, we picked up Professor Noggins, Presidents of the United States. We love the Professor Noggins games. They are a ton of fun. They are a trivia card type game, and where you have a deck of cards. My kids were playing with these, as you can see. They have a deck of cards, and they also have this die that only have numbers 1 through 3, and you roll, and then you get to choose. If you roll a 1, you read this question here, and the student gets to read it. So there is a student and a scholar side. It really depends. My 6th grader is quite history savvy, and this is kind of her thing. And so especially for some of the more well-known presidents, I will actually ask her the scholar side at this point. But somebody who's, you know, not as famous, or something like, here's a card that says presidential nicknames, things like that, I would just ask them the student side. But it can be dependent on student, and you can make it work. Even my 5-year-old plays, she doesn't answer many questions, but I've been trying to ask her, like, Lincoln, the questions off the Lincoln and the George Washington card repeatedly, so she is learning something instead of flipping through to different cards. But this is always a lot of fun. We have several of the Professor Noggin games, and so this one just happened to fit the bill for our topic this set of Morning Basket. So we picked up the Mad Libs presidential Mad Libs, sorry. And this is just a great fun way to add in some grammar, nouns, verbs, adjectives. They're not always the most fun thing to learn about, and so I think Mad Libs are just a little bit of extra fun and silliness and a way to add them in, and it's something all of my kids can participate in. I can say to my 5-year-old, like, I know the first one, it had information, some of the blanks were like a part of the body, and she could pick that even though she didn't know what an adjective was. My older kids could answer that, and she could fill in the simpler ones, and then it's just a fun thing to kind of read all together. And our chapter books for this time period, which something that we've been doing in our homeschool and in our morning basket time, is I work, and so in the morning I do, if you have followed my channel at all, I sell on eBay, and so in the mornings, and Poshmark, so I often have shipments that I have to get ready to go out the door. And so my older girls are now 9 and 11, and they are quite capable and read very well. And so I've been having them actually read the chapter books for us while I'm packing up my stuff. So I picked up 4 chapter books. This is the one we started with because it was something I found at a yard sale this summer, and it was Kidnapped at the Capitol, and it's the Capitol Mysteries. And so it's just been a fun little fiction book to add in. And then I saw this, I can't even remember which homeschool channel I saw it on, but I did see it actually on the wall back away today, just when I was watching through one of her videos that she just put up on her Amazon haul, and she ordered it as well. So it was not her. There was another mama. I wish I could give credit, but I know that the Waldock Way also had put this up today. And it is, what is the presidential election? So obviously this very much fits our bill, but the one thing that really drew me to this was that the original mom I saw that shared this said that she had already flipped through it, and it has very current information for even the 2020 election. And so I thought that was fabulous to be able to read with my kids, especially the older two, as I want them to kind of get a little more of a handle on why and how we choose those who lead our country. And so this book, it says, this book is your guide to U.S. politics, elections, and the campaign trail. A fun way to follow the 2020 U.S. presidential race, and full of activities that get you involved in political issues. And so I thought it was a good way, like I said, to get them involved on their level. And the fact that it is accurate to the current election, I thought that was fantastic. So I picked that up, and then I actually ordered both of these to be borrowed from the library, but when I got home, my kids told me that I already had one. So I'm going to return this for another family to use and pull out our own. But I got Where is the White House? We love this series of Who Was and Where Is. And Who Was Susan B. Anthony? And so we will work our way through these two first, and then if we have more time, we will work in this. I don't know how much time this will take. I don't know if there will be additional stuff in it. Because we started with the other one first, I haven't really got into this too much, so I'm not sure activity-wise, but you can see activity, extra pages back here. Things where they can write a letter. are these? These look like stickers. And this might be for election night. I think this is for election night, but I actually printed something similar to this for all of our kids so they could stay up and watch this year. We're going to make a party of it. We'll see. I'm in a state where they're talking about not having answers for a very long time, so it might not be as fun as it has been in past years to kind of stay up and watch. But I thought it would be a cool little tradition for them. So, and then most of these other books are books that I borrowed from the library. I'm going to share this first set with you a little bit more in depth, but then the second set is basically all picture books. So this first one is the Kid's Guide to America's Bill of Rights, Curfew, Censorships, and the 100-Pound Giant. And it says, the 462 words of the Bill of Rights celebrate America as a nation of individuals. They emphasize the tradition in the United States of expecting one's rights of loving liberty above all else and distrusting authority. All people weren't equal in 1791, and most African Americans were still slaves. All women were second-class citizens, and the rich had more power than the poor. But the Bill of Rights laid the groundwork for equality to become a reality. So we're going to go through this. I also got this smaller version of it's just called the Bill of Rights, and it's a little bit simpler, written in larger text, and so we're gonna I'm gonna have these on hand. These will kind of be more of like, these books right here will be a little bit more of a spine. That one, in addition to America Votes, How Our President is Elected. And here, so it talks about like the ability to write, you can vote and you can't. How we weren't all originally able to vote. What does the president do? So just all these different spreads that have information. Getting to know you. And so we will use these books, these along with that what is book, and kind of just work through how the election process works, why we have an election, basically how our government's supposed to be working. Sorry, I'm tossing all this stuff over there because I don't have enough room. Okay, and then I got this just as a resource to have for the next several weeks on hand for my kids to look through. And it is the D.K. Smithsonian The President's Visual Encyclopedia. And I love the fact that this is, again, current. So many times you find books talking about the presidents, and it has up to more modern years, but it doesn't have all of the presidents. So this does indeed have, you can see down here Obama and even President Trump. So this is very up to date, and so I'm just keeping this on hand. It is a great resource tool. So you can see here, just a spread about Truman, Bill Clinton. Sorry, I'm just literally opening. Abraham Lincoln. And then as you work your way through it, it also has some of the first ladies. So you can see Jacqueline Kennedy. And then it goes into things like presidential powers. And it's very, it's made in such a way to be like very infographic. Camp David. And so I thought this would be a really neat thing just to kind of keep. I don't know if we'll really work through this or if I'll just have it available for my older students to look in, but I thought it was a really cool book to have on hand. And at last, as far as resources go, we are going to be adding My America, a poetry atlas of the United States. And so we are doing the Shel Silverstein, but I thought it would be neat to try and add in just some poetry that kind of corresponds to what we're working on. And so I picked up this book from the library. And it's not so much election oriented, but just about the states and about America. And I just thought that that would be neat. And of all times, we should be thinking about our unity. And the, you can see the illustrations in this are just beautiful. But they're very short and simple poems. My kids are not into super in-depth, thought-provoking poems, and I can't really blame them. That wasn't really my thing, especially in elementary school. I did come to appreciate poetry a little bit more in my later years, but so it's just kind of some simplistic thing to add to that. So beyond that, I basically have a stack of picture books. I went through Pinterest, and then I went on, I just Googled some stuff. I looked at other YouTube mamas, and I looked up like morning baskets and things, looking for anybody who may have done something similar to our topic. And then I got on our library network, and I just requested a bunch of stuff. So I have a big stack here. I'm just going to kind of hold up the titles for you guys and share with you. I'm not going to share too much in depth on these. I'm telling you, big stack, guys. Yeah, they had to give me 2 bags to leave the library this time, because between this and my other books, I couldn't even fit them all in my typical library tote. But this is one of the level I can read history books. George Washington, the first president. One vote, 2 votes, I vote, you vote. Vote for me. And it's by Ben Clatton. I don't know if you can see that for anybody who might be interested. If I ran for president, there's the author for you. Duck for president. What can a citizen do? Amelia Bedelia, first vote. My kids actually already read this one today. They thought it was cute. Nice work, Franklin. Vote for our future. Lillian's right to vote. There again. Author's right on there for you. We the Kids, the preamble of the Constitution of the United States. Grace for President. See How They Run, Campaign Dreams, Election Schemes, and the Race to Win the White House. Ooh, I'm sorry guys. The wind is picking up, hopefully. It is not too loud. A More Perfect Union, the story of our Constitution. Granddaddy's Turn, a journey to the ballot box. The Next President. We the People, the story of our Constitution. And America, a Patriotic Primer. This is actually one I picked up at a yard sale this summer, rather than being a library book, but I thought it was super cute, and I'll just show you the inside of it. E is for equality. F is for freedom. And so I just thought that was really sweet and cute. So if you guys like these kinds of videos, please give me a thumbs up. If you are new here and you enjoyed what you saw, I'd love it if you hit the subscribe button down there and joined us. And if you guys think you guys might want to see these in the future, like I said, I am planning a Little House on the Prairie, I think for November and December, and I will pick I have some topics chosen for the spring. If I stick with them, you know how that goes. Sometimes we change our plans. My current topics are trees and national parks. So I'd be happy to share that information with you guys as well. Like I said, I'm going to try and link down in the description box below the entire playlist of other mamas. If the collab is now closed, make sure you go ahead and check them out. Anyways, just go ahead into that search bar on YouTube, because I know there's a lot of fabulous things being shared out there. So I'll see you guys all next time. Bye. So beyond that, I basically have a stack of picture books. I went through Pinterest, and then I went on, I just Googled some stuff. I looked at other YouTube mamas, and I looked up like morning baskets and things, looking for anybody who may have done something similar to our topic. And then I got on our library network, and I just requested a bunch of stuff. So I have a big stack here. I'm just going to kind of hold up the titles for you guys and share with you. I'm not going to share too much in depth on these. Telling you, big stack, guys. Yeah, they had to give me 2 bags to leave the library this time, because between this and my other books, I couldn't even fit them all in my typical library tote. But this is one of the level I can read history books. George Washington, the first president. One vote, 2 votes, I vote, you vote. Vote for me. And it's by Ben Clatton. I don't know if you can see that for anybody who might be interested. If I ran for president, there's the author for you. Duck for president. What can a citizen do? Amelia Bedelia, first vote. My kids actually already read this one today. They thought it was cute. Nice work, Franklin. Vote for our future. Lillian's right to vote. There again. Author's right on there for you. We the Kids, the preamble of the Constitution of the United States. Grace for president. See how they run. Campaign dreams, election schemes, and the race to win the White House. Ooh, I'm sorry guys. The wind is picking up, hopefully. It is not too loud. A More Perfect Union, the story of our Constitution. Granddaddy's Turn, a journey to the ballot box. The Next President. We the People, the story of our Constitution. And America, a Patriotic Primer. This is actually one I picked up at a yard sale this summer, rather than being a library book, but I thought it was super cute, and I'll just show you the inside of it. E is for equality. F is for freedom. And so I just thought that was really sweet and cute. So if you guys like these kinds of videos, please give me a thumbs up. If you are new here and you enjoyed what you saw, I'd love it if you hit the subscribe button down there and joined us. And if you guys think you guys might want to see these in the future, like I said, I am planning a Little House on the Prairie, I think for November and December, and I will pick, I have some topics chosen for the spring. If I stick with them, you know how that goes, sometimes we change our plans. My current topics are trees and national parks, so I'd be happy to share that information with you guys as well. Like I said, I'm going to try and link down in the description box below the entire playlist of other mamas. If the collab is now closed, make sure you go ahead and check them out. Anyways, just go ahead into that search bar on YouTube, because I know there's a lot of fabulous things being shared out there. So I'll see you guys all next time. Bye.